Testing.
Okay, yeah, it's coming through. Good. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's see what the quality looks like. It says it's offline. Oh. No.
There it is.
Still showing Theo.
No, I see. You're live.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, quality doesn't look too bad. Hey, Derek. Hey, Flexbox. We're testing the quality here. I'm going to try youtube.infinite.red and see if quality is decent there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Seems to be working. Quality's not like amazing, but it's, you know, I downgraded the quality a little bit, but
Slightly lower quality is better than
yeah, than glitching
laggy.
out. Let us know,
Yeah.
chat. Hey, Kate. Let us know, chat, if we're dropping out and stuff. This is kind of a, you know, it's a bit of a test, and then I do have some more changes to make. Like, I haven't signed up for Stream. Well, I have signed up. I haven't set up Restream.io. So right now we're using Streamlabs to do the multi-stream, and the problem is that the way that Streamlabs works is it sends two streams out, like one to YouTube and one to Twitch, and Restream will take one stream and then they'll split it up. So it's not relying on my bandwidth. It's relying on theirs. I can just send one stream out and it works. Hey, Kate. Hey, Chanman. Looks clear to you? Cool. Awesome. Appreciate it. Yeah, so we are live. Welcome, Robin.
Thanks, Jamon. You twisted my arm enough times.
I did. Why are you off center? I need to fix that.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. I was like, I don't know how to fix that. I think you have to fix that.
You're a little right of center, which is not. I won't keep going on that one. All right. I think it's like.
Gonna touch that one.
I'm not going that way. Yeah, 315. 315. There. Now you're a nice moderate, like you're supposed to be. Okay. What do we got? Streaming plumbing is a full-time job. Hey, so the thing is, in my last stream, I streamed with Theo. And of course, Theo is like, you know, a streaming wizard. He worked for Twitch. He did all kinds of things. Hey, Darren.
Literally started a company.
Yes, he literally did. Are you seeing chat, by the way, Robin? Darren's making me laugh.
Yes, I have. It's a little bit weird. I just have Twitch open on one side with the volume off, but I don't know if there's a better way to see the chat.
For now, that'll work. But yeah, he's like incredible at this stuff. So, of course, I was incredibly embarrassed about my setup, partially because it was the first stream on this computer. I hadn't even set up my setup.
You're very nice, very expensive.
Yeah. And then secondly, his standards are way higher than mine, which is great, and I love it, and I want to get to his level. Like, that's amazing. So, so he was just like, this isn't right, this isn't right, this isn't right. And we're just like trying to fix it all. And
it sounds like my pull request.
yes, it's totally a pull request thing. Adjusting the stream CSS, that's totally what's happening. Tuning in from over in Finland, Juha over there. Hyvä päivä. So I guess, yeah, I have some more work to do. For one thing, I need to stop using Streamlabs. I need to go back to OBS Studio, apparently. I need to start using Restream. I need to get a better internet connection. I have like a laundry list of things to do from doing that stream with Theo. So, which is great. I can't wait to get things even better. But I do have Robin on my stream, so
Yay.
glad to have you here. Yeah, React Native Radio
Darren's
Live.
right that this is React Native Radio.
It totally is.
That feels
Mazen's
like
Mazen and John Major are like, wait, why wasn't I invited? It's because I only have 2 boxes and I don't have another spot for more people. So
how weird would it be to actually record an episode of the podcast?
I've been wanting to do that forever. I really have. Like I totally want to do that. I totally want to do that.
We have to be more careful about what we tell Todd to edit out.
It's totally true. Cool. Well, today we're doing some open source. We're going to be doing some open source. I'm trying to set up my computer here. So for those of you who don't know Robin, she works at Infinerad with me. She is co-host of React Native Radio. She lives in Beaverton, Oregon, which is Beaverton, which is over by just west of Portland. You may hear my daughters in the background. They're playing Roblox right now because they are too sick to go to school. We'll see. Need to record a podcast episode at Chain React. I know. I've thought about that as well. Robin was off by 1 index.
That would be fun.
It would be fun. The only problem is that we have so much else to do.
Yes, we are.
When we're there,
hosting the conference.
The conference, yeah.
Maybe not a podcast episode, but it would be fun to stream like backstage or something.
Totally, yeah.
Or like chat. Ooh, have a stream chatting with the speakers. That'd
be pretty cool. Yeah, like get them in here, like chatting, talking. People who couldn't be there could be like, yeah, that's an interesting. There's some ideas here. Yeah, we could even stream the conference through React Native Live, and so people could tune in that way. Like that would be their way of tuning in. Yeah, with commentary. In between, yeah. Like in between, we could switch over to. Wow, that would be amazing. That would be a lot of work, but that'd be really amazing.
It would be a lot of work, but it would be fun.
Yeah. Awesome job with React Native Radio. My favorite tech podcast nowadays. Thanks. Really appreciate that, Yuha. Yeah. We put a lot of effort into it. Like I feel like people don't. Well, actually, if you heard React Native Radio 200 or in our 200, you'll know like how much effort we put into it because we talk about it quite a bit there.
And not just us. There's like a lot, probably even more effort goes in after we finish recording.
Yeah, by we I mean like the whole team. It's definitely not just the hosts. Yeah. Well, thanks to everybody for joining us. We are going to be doing some open source. We're going to be looking at Ignite. We're going to be messing around with that. And hopefully this isn't the last time we have Robin on here, so be nice to her. Just making sure I have everything lined up here. It's really awkward right now because I don't have 2 displays. So I'm trying to kind of like shuffle between like all the windows between one display. And sometimes things are overlapping a little bit, and I don't want stuff to just show up in the stream. So
I see.
Chan Man?
How come you're that's right, you're on your studio, so you don't have your laptop as a second.
I could.
You could use
it's downstairs.
Universal control.
Yeah. I actually didn't set it up to do that because the fans were so loud because it's an Intel, not an M1.
I found that too.
Yeah.
My Intel one, when I was doing that.
Yeah.
Was spinning up quite a lot.
But then I have my daughters over there with 2 gaming laptops, and they're just blasting fan noise right now, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Chenman says, as someone who hasn't done open source work, what kind of differences are there? I'm guessing discussions with the community and considering breaking changes. Actually, this is a great stream to tune into because we are going to be doing exactly that. We're going to be doing a lot of that stuff. So stay tuned. You're going to see it. Flexbox says marketing is where the real work happens, like in successful developer projects. It's true. And it's funny when people say, well, that project is just marketing. It's like, yeah,
that's like literally a whole industry.
That's the hard part.
People's entire career is marketing.
Apple is just marketing. Yeah, that's the hard part, like building that brand is very, very difficult. I mean, the engineering's difficult too. It is. Like, I've been on both sides of that. All right, let's open this up and let's see how it works. Yeah, okay. I got a little work to do. Let's see. But how are you doing today, Robin?
I'm doing okay. We're
recovering
from
an unspecified illness.
Unspecified virus.
Have you had any symptoms that have been, like for me, the cough was a problem.
It hasn't been too bad. The cough has been annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, though, we had my whole family had RSV this winter,
mm-hmm.
and that was a worse cough.
Yeah,
for all of us. Like,
mm-hmm.
Travis, like my husband and I and the kids all had a terrible time with that. And this hasn't been as bad. My daughter's having a hard time with the cough, though.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, my 7-month-old he had a fever for a couple days, but hasn't really had that bad of a time. So we're grateful for that. And then it mostly felt like a cold for me. I had one day where I was super tired, had some headaches, cough, congestion. If I hadn't decided to test, I would have thought it was just a cold.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're feeling okay, at least. For me, it was definitely the cough. Like it just kind of lingered and lingered and lingered.
Mm-hmm.
So, I still have a change to make here. In my preview, the quality's terrible. I hope it's not that bad. It's chat. How's the preview here? Or not preview, the stream itself. The screen share is what I'm worried about right now. Can you read that? I don't know. Can you see it, Robin?
I have it really small right now because I had chat open, but
generally what we're going to be doing during this stream is we're going to be both looking at the same issue, but on our own machines.
It's not like terrible. It's not awesome either.
Okay.
You can read it.
Quality's good, readable. Okay.
I think it's
not 4K.
Enough.
It is not 4K Flexbox, basically because, and by the way, Trex, first time chat from you.
That's my husband.
Oh, Travis. Hey, welcome, Travis. Yeah, I was actually about to ask you if Travis was going to join us. Somehow Travis avoided the virus.
Yeah, he did somehow.
Just dodging bullets. Awesome. Thanks for joining us. Supporting your wife. That's awesome. Drew says it's a little blurry. Yeah. I can see the text, but I'm watching on the TV. Oh, that's awesome. We're on the big TV, big screen. Okay. So yeah, it's going to be better in the future. I promise. I promise it's going to be better. I just haven't got everything set up, but it's like the iPhone 3G screen.
You're not like playing League or something where you like want to be able to see a lot of details.
Right.
It's less critical. As
long as it's not dropping out, right? So, okay. So Ignite is our boilerplate for React Native and CLI. It has component and model generators and more. And we are working on a redesign, so just kind of keep that in mind. That's going to happen at some point here.
Yeah, how long has it been since that original Bowser design? It's been like
I think this one's been around for about 4 years now, something
4
like
years.
that.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, so it's definitely time for a facelift.
Definitely. I'm like it just occurred to me like how out of character that is.
Yeah.
For us to let a design go that long.
Mm-hmm. It's true. So, you know what? I'm just realized I'm not seeing YouTube comments. They're probably getting
there's 4
frustrated.
YouTube viewers.
Can you see if any comments have been posted?
So they're commenting and like you're just not responding.
Yeah, sorry, YouTubers.
Gives, Jamon?
My bad. I wasn't on the multi-stream chat. So,
and streaming is like a multitasking.
Oh man. Oh, I was going to mention that we are considering, not 100% sure if we're going to do this, considering streaming from Derek's computer, and both Robin and I tune in using the method that Robin's using in the future. So we just like send him, we send him all the feeds.
Rate stuff.
And then he just like orchestrates everything. He's got everything dialed in. He can produce the whole show.
Make a lot of sense.
All we do is use ping. So
you made it. You got a producer.
Exactly.
That's like the big leagues.
So React Native, we have Expo for certain things. There are some changes coming for Expo eventually. So there's a lot of we have a lot of issues. We have some pull requests. We have an unknown number of discussions. Apparently nothing really new. There's some unanswered stuff that's old, but I don't know if we need to worry about that too much.
Is there a way for me to see your screen besides just watching the stream?
That's a good question. Maybe there's a way in, what do you call it? Ping.
Enable HD previews? I don't know.
Let's see here. I'm not finding anything. Turn off camera, mute. I'm not seeing like share screen. Which is a little weird. You'd think that that would be a thing, and I thought Theo did it. I'll have to check on that and see if there's a
I'll just go wherever you're going.
Yeah. I think that works. Have you considered using React Native MKKV instead of async storage? Been quite impressed. Yes.
There's a pull request, isn't there?
Is there?
There is.
Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah.
We have some. I think there's some. Yulian just reviewed it. Since we did. Export, or since we support Expo, to use this, you'd have to run Expo pre-build. No additional config plugins are required. We have zero documentation in Ignite regarding Expo pre-build. New users electing to use Ignite with Expo will have build errors. Add documentation, just include it, run pre-build, or pause in this integration. And then there was a test deleted. So this is pull request 1920. So yeah, because we support Expo, sometimes we have to go a little bit lowest common denominator on this. It looks like.
What does Expo pre-build?
So yes, Expo pre-build is really cool. Pre-build.
I should know that, but
the thing about
I haven't used Expo in so long.
Right, and this is new. Expo pre-build is the new eject, but it does not eject you. It like creates iOS and Android folders and lets you run it however you want, like as just a fully native thing, but doesn't eject you. So you can still run it in the managed Expo Go as well if you want.
I see.
It just allows you to do both. And I actually really like pre-build. I'm using it on a side project right now, It's really slick. It just works great. In fact, my opinion, and we haven't like got there as a team yet, my opinion is that we would do that third thing that Julian recommended here. Third thing, run pre-build and ignite CLI after it finishes igniting a new Expo app. I think that should probably be just how we make Ignite apps. There's no Expo option. It spins up an Expo project and then pre-builds it, or something similar like that.
So if we did that, then all Ignite projects you would have to run through.
You wouldn't have to run it through Expo.
CLI?
No, you wouldn't have to. So like, I can run it from Xcode and stuff.
Okay.
So it allows me to run, just like you would. You can do React Native run iOS, stuff like that. It just basically
can you use the Expo CLI still?
Mm-hmm.
So it basically just gives you the best.
Gives you whatever you want. Yeah. Yeah. And then I'm using EAS with it.
Seems pretty slick. I'm like, what's the catch?
Yeah, I know. What is the catch? Here is the deal with Expo. Expo is going away from, I wouldn't say going away. They're not as focused on the Expo managed service as they used to be. Mm-hmm. They're not as focused on Expo Go. That's sort of like what you think of as when you think of Expo, is like the Expo Go app, which is basically the app that serves up your app inside of Expo, right?
Right.
And then the managed service, which is like Expo, build and things like that, which allows you to build in the cloud.
Right.
They are totally focused on EAS now, and EAS is a way cooler system, in my opinion. EAS allows you to take vanilla React Native apps and just run them, like build them in the cloud, and have a whole, like, it's basically like, it's a competitor to like App Center and stuff like that. It allows you to do CI, allows you to build, and also interfaces with like Apple's, like I was able to push right to an Apple, well, I actually didn't quite get there because I had an error, but once I fix the error, which I think I've gotten to, I can actually push it over to Apple and have it show up in the iTunes or the App Store Connect.
Nice.
Hey, Keel. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming. So this is why we're not using React Native MKKV or MMKV yet. But
okay, so do we have a ticket for? Maybe we should have a ticket for at least exploring
the Expo changes, or the
Expo pre-build, yeah, mm-hmm. Because that would be a prerequisite for
good idea.
This.
Let me see here. I'm looking to see if there is one. Let's create it. Yeah, I'll do that right now. Merging Expo and vanilla templates. With Expo EAS, and I'll link that. No, not East. EAS. You can now run Expo and vanilla React Native projects. Actually, you know what? Actually, I'm going to say with Expo pre-build. That's probably more of a
yeah.
relevant thing. EAS is sort of separate.
Pre-build is the specific change that we're making.
Yeah, exactly. From the CLI. This means we have some options. This means we now have more options on, or that's not, let's hear. Feel free to help out if you want. I'm trying to think through how to express this.
I don't know how, I gotta make it bigger so I can actually read what you're.
I'm just gonna, I'll plus it as well.
Okay. Expo approval. You can now run your app with as Expo and from our NCLI. Maybe definitely link to that comment from Yulian.
Yeah, good call. Pull. I think it was 1920. Yeah. So, I can't. There's no permalink to this.
There is in the 3 dots on the right.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. Usually it's like yeah. Okay. Yeah. 25 days ago is right here. And that's linkable. But
But
the
not
4
4
days
days
ago
ago.
right here. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, 4 days ago.
Yep. So reply on is relevant as well here. Okay, so right now we use a different CLI depending on whether you pass in Expo or not. It makes several changes based on that decision. And some packages, like React Native, MMKV, can't be included in the Expo version because of Expo managed
Right.
app limitations. Okay.
It creates a lot of bugs because you have to remember to test the Expo version and the vanilla version every time, and you have to make everything work in both cases.
This approach creates bugs in Ignite because we have to test. I'm actually not sure if all of this is showing up. It looks like it is. Okay. Changes in Expo and vanilla every time. You as of Ignite 6, you can run the boilerplate from the Ignite source, which is nice, but it is vanilla only, not Expo. With all this said, there is an opportunity here to create a boilerplate that works with both. This issue will be, I guess, the central place to discuss if this could be done and what needs to be done to make this happen. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that definitely sounds good.
I think that's good. Labels, I'm going to mark this as a discussion, enhancement expo.
Should it be an actual discussion?
Maybe. My problem with discussions right now is that they don't. There's two problems here. One is there's no way to just like discuss it. I mean, I guess you can. Like, you can't just make a comment. You have to do an answer.
Oh, that's weird.
And then you can comment underneath those. And then it also just isn't. It just feels like it's more kind of like buried for whatever reason.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So I'll do this for now. I still haven't used Expo other than teaching React Native for non-mobile devs. That's mostly what I use it for too. Even my side project, I use Expo pre-build.
Yeah, it seems like we use it a lot for just like when you need something quick that you need a bunch of other people to be able to install. Like we did it for an internal engineering workshop.
Right.
Lizzie used an Expo snack so that we all could just like really easily install her demo.
Yep. And I think there's a lot of value there. And I think there's value in continuing to support it in Ignite, but I want to do it in a way that just makes it easier for us. Because right now, the two decisions we're having to make where it's like, if Expo now like merge this file, delete these other files, make these changes.
It's becoming increasingly fractured.
It is, yeah.
The two branches.
Chanman asked, how much of your time is spent working in open source at Infinerad? Not enough.
It's hard, right? Because you have to balance.
Yeah.
Doing stuff that brings in revenue.
Right. Versus this.
Open source.
Yeah.
And I mean, this brings in revenue indirectly, right?
Yeah.
But it's,
right.
It's much less like spend 8 hours, get money. It's like, this is more of a long-term return.
Yeah, we, it's part of our strategy as a company is putting out quality open source out there that we use. And then it attracts other developers. We have 13,000 stars, 1.1K forks, 226 people watching this for some reason. Like, yeah, this blows me away. Like 226 people watching every issue. This is now gone out to 226 people. That just seems a little wild to me, but all right, cool. So it's going to hinge on this. Depends on 1933 quite a bit, as mentioned. Let's pause until we figure that out. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of like you talk about like open source and how that kind of equates to working normally. Like this is the type of stuff we're doing. We're kind of like discussing a little bit of product stuff, and I'm going to want, by the way, Lizzie's opinions on this as well. She's kind of taken over general product of Ignite, although she's told me, because she's very busy, to just continue to forge ahead. So I'm doing that. But okay, let's see what else is out there. I guess pull requests I always prioritize pull requests. So I want to see, what's out there. Let's see if he made any changes to this. He said he was going to.
Should we put an on hold label on that last one?
Oh yeah, good call. Would you want to do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
So this is a very long pull request. The feedback I gave him, this is
like 60 files.
1930. Yeah.
Are a lot of those assets though?
They are a lot of assets, and so the majority. Let's see if I can just get through all this stuff.
It's always really fun to say.
What?
Mitmap.
Mitmap. That's true. That's a very fun thing to say. Generators. Okay, so app icon generator is a special type of generator, special in that it modifies the native project folders with resized and transformed input image files found in the generator's template folder. It only accepts predefined options for the second parameter, one of iOS, Android, Expo, or all. When updating the template files, please note that names must stay the same as well as the size. Sketch. There's a sketch template file. Just make your changes and click File Export. And then you run npx ignite CLI generate app icon iOS or Android or Expo or all. Generates all the required sizes for the supplied platform, applies any needed padding and radii to the Android legacy icons, updates these this icon set, including content JSON, updates the resources file, including the mitmap, any DPI, updates assets images, including the root file, app JSON, So I do think this probably needs to say something like, your app needs icons. They're a pain, things like that. So I'm actually going to give them a little bit more feedback here. Let's go here.
Make it a little more.
Actually,
I don't know. What's the word? Marketing-y?
Yeah.
Salesy.
So this is kind of cool. You can click this button right here if you have something selected, and it adds this suggestion and allows you to like give him something that he can actually just commit.
Hit
directly.
a button.
Yeah.
And say, sure, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. App icons are tricky. There are many different shapes, sizes, and app graphics. Actually, I don't think I need that. Just app icons. Shapes and sizes, and many different configuration files and locations to update. So we include this generator to make it much easier on you. There's a special kind of generator, and then kind of goes into that. So I'm going to add it as a single comment instead of a review, because I've already kind of been reviewing as I go. Added this blurb to explain why this exists. And then he can just click the commit suggestion thing. They have this new thing too. I don't know if you've seen this, Robin, but add suggestion to batch.
I haven't seen that.
So the problem when they first introduced this is every single time.
It's just like a string of tiny little commits.
Exactly. But now you can batch them up and do them in one commit.
Always improving GitHub.
Mm-hmm. That didn't used to be the case. They used to be very stagnant, but weirdly, when Microsoft bought them, they just started kicking things into gear. Drew says, this is so cool. First time learning how to work on open source. Yeah, awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us. I used this, actually. I used this this weekend, this generator.
Oh, the generator?
On my side project. So this is really cool. I generated the app several weeks ago, so it didn't have this generator. So what I did was I actually, and let me go in here. What I did with my, let's see if I can bring this back here. All right. What I did was I had a local copy of it because this hasn't been released yet, but once it's released, you'll have Ignite, right? Let me make sure this is working. Yes, it is. Okay. So this is a local version of Ignite. I usually run it with npx ignite-cli, but that would not get the changes that I need. So just pretend I'm doing that. So Ignite generate app-icon, but then that doesn't exist, right? If I tried using that, it would not work. So what I do is I do update.
Nice.
And when you do that, let me make sure that I'm okay. Yeah. So Ignite generate app-icon -update. If you don't give it app icon, it'll update all of the generators. But then it basically takes the version of Ignite that you have and updates the generator that you have in your project, because you have local versions of each generator, like all the templates. Basically, it's your template. Yeah. And so there's like
now
this.
You can update a single generator.
Yeah. Exactly. And so
that's cool.
Like here's what it put into my folder is this Ignite logo. So but if I go git reset hard and then open that same thing, this is what I actually had. This is my icon. So I just placed this in there, and then I ran I ran this generator and it was just slick. It just like everything popped up there. In fact, I'll just run it. Generate app icon. And then in this case, let's say I can't do all because I don't have Android at all. So I'll just do iOS. Super cool. I'm going to make this bigger. But yeah, you can see it generated all of these. It created all the different things. It's using this new JavaScript framework called... Shoot, I don't remember what it's called. It's in here somewhere. It'd be in the package.
It's in PR, right?
Sharp. It's called Sharp. Sharp is... you've probably heard of ImageMagick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The dependency for everything.
Right, exactly. Sharp replaces that.
Nice.
And it's way
ImageMagick
faster.
Has been around forever.
Yeah, it's about time.
I'm pretty sure I installed ImageMagick in my C++ class in college in like 2011.
I remember using ImageMagick like probably around then, maybe earlier. Yeah, it's been around forever. But Sharp is very cool. If we use Sharp a ton, we could add it to GlueGun. That'd be an option. Just like a toolbox.images. And then you just go with Sharp stuff from there. That'd be pretty cool. All right. Yeah. So this is going to be a very cool thing, and it obviously works. The big difference the thing that I wanted him to change, and I actually talked to him. I didn't put the feedback here, but I talked to him. Right now he's putting in, you can see package JSON source commands, and then he updated the generate command. What I kind of wanted from him actually was, because right now he's kind of like checking to see if, let's see.
He has that, like just above that, he has a flag.
If this is this generator.
Yeah.
And so he's got a lot of kind of branching logic in here, which makes it more complicated. It's not too bad, but it's just kind of like extra.
It seems like you could do it a slightly better way. I'm not sure what that would look like. But.
So GlueGun has this built in. If you create in the commands folder, if you create a generate folder, and then in that generate folder, you add an app-icon.ts file, you don't have to do any branch. It just runs that.
So is there stuff though that would then be duplicated?
Good question. I don't think so. But
like, is it like a pure branching, like, or is there stuff that it's doing for the app icon generator that it is doing for the other ones?
That's a really good question.
I mean, you could probably solve that with some shared functions.
Actually, oh yeah, that's just showing like the generic help.
Yeah, is it possible to get it to display a specific help text for the sub command?
That's one of the weak parts of GlueGun. It doesn't do it automatically. So, yeah, you can, but you have to do it kind of manually. So I wish it was a little bit, I don't know. I just haven't, we haven't worked on that. Other CLIs do. GlueGun doesn't. That's as good as it gets out of the box.
GlueGun is very strong and mighty for what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very cool.
And it does exactly what we need for Ignite.
Yeah,
most of the time.
ImageMagick depths were a pain. Gixer's here, says Sharp has been around for a while using Gatsby a while back. Okay, I didn't know that. That's the first I've ever heard of it. I had a CI to add build number to the automated builds, and it was using ImageMagick, but had to massage it a lot to get the depths working. Yeah.
Yeah, ImageMagick just like it evokes like dependency management.
Yeah, totally.
Pain. In like every language too. It's like
right.
Like
It
I
wasn't
don't know
really
what I was
built
doing.
for what we're using it for in a lot of cases. Okay, so he hasn't made those changes yet. I kind of told him about how he could go with that. He may decide that this is still worth it. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not gonna review everything here because I've already reviewed it with him, looked at it. It's good. Julian's code is always good. It's really really clean, nice.
Yeah, there's definitely an element of like, well, Julian is amazing, and I trust that he's pretty much thought of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's true.
there's definitely
Just click that approve
a
button.
level of, yeah.
All right. So yeah, you can see the icons depending on whether you have the older
Is it a little
style.
bit like, is it intentionally that close to the edges? Like, because when it does it like cuts off.
Ooh.
And then the circle gets pretty close.
Yeah.
I don't know if
It
we
may
want to
just be
tweak
because
that
our
asset at
Ignite,
all.
like you should probably
I mean, you're obviously not going to keep the Ignite logo. It's a temporary
right.
asset.
Right. And maybe you're supposed to kind of keep it a little bit smaller in the canvas. I don't know.
I'm sure there's iOS
That's a good
guidelines
question.
somewhere.
Let me look and see.
Do we for Ignite? I guess I should just check the new branding site that Jenna made. But do we have just like a single icon logo for Ignite?
Yeah, good question. What is that? Infinite.red/brand assets. Is that right? Yeah, that's what it is. This is a brand new page, by the way, folks. Brand assets. Download brand assets for any of the Infinerad brands. So there's Infinerad itself, Chain React, React Native Newsletter, React Native
We do
Radio.
not have a single icon logo for Ignite, it looks like.
Oh. React Native Live. There's Ignite.
We have one for everything else, though. Like, Reactatron has one. Chain React has one.
But it's right here.
What? Wait, I'm sorry. I'm looking at
it. It's right above Reactatron.
Right. No, yeah. But that, like, there's no, like, see how Reactatron has, like, the word Reactatron, and then there's the icon that you could use as a sort of single image.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like most brands have, like, there's the
mark,
the longer word version, and then just the pictorial.
I think it's because
Jenna would know the actual words for what I'm trying to describe.
Yeah, it's the mark.
The mark.
React Native Live doesn't either.
React Native Live doesn't really need one as much though, because its logo is more compact.
Ignite though shows, or it's the whole. I don't think it has a mark. It's just the word. It doesn't. So yeah. By the way, people are going to be like, "What's Clue?"
I know. We were laughing about that when we first debuted this. I was like, "Do people going to have no idea what that is?"
And we're not going to tell them.
We're not going to tell them. It's a secret.
It's a
this
secret.
Is a clue.
Yeah.
To solve the mystery.
Yeah. Add the build number to the app icon. What do you add? Oh, okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Add the build number to the app icon. We should do that. We should have that. Like maybe there's a way Yulin could add that to this generator or something.
Is that that's a Fastlane thing, right?
Oh, does it do that?
I'm sorry. I'm looking.
Fastlane uses image magic though, so it's not as cool.
Oh yeah.
Do the same as the Expo website. Right click on the logo. Ooh. No way. So you're like, oh, I want to save this. You right click the logo and it goes to the brand page. That is slick. Nice. That is slick. I like that.
Wait, it only goes there if you right click it, because if you left click it, it goes to the home.
Mm-hmm.
But
why would someone right click? They're trying to save it.
That's cheeky.
It is. They're trying to save it, and they're like, well, if you really want to do that, like here's a download.
Oh, major props to whoever
Seriously,
thought of that at Expo. That's
we should do the same. That would be
Is that
really
a
cool.
thing? Maybe that's a thing that other sites
Expo does
do.
all these little tricks that I don't see elsewhere. They're really really good at this stuff. I don't know why.
Now I'm going to try that on every website I go to.
um, yeah. Okay. So, other than right now, or let's see here. This is looking great. Just want to explore the change to the generate branching logic that we discussed in Slack using a new file. What is it? I'll just say commands generate app-icon.ts instead. So, and then he can actually move the generate.ts into that folder as well, and it won't change anything. Like, it won't make it so you have to go ignite generate. You can just put it right here, and it'll go ignite generate.
Smart enough.
Yeah, it finds like, is there a generate folder with a generate file in it, or is there just a command/generate.ts? It allows you to do either.
You were talking about that on Twitter, weren't you?
Yeah, it was because of this discussion.
You hate index. You hate index.
It's so dumb. Like index.
Yeah, that's what your editor looks like.
Yeah. Okay, so that one's done. Let's see here. We're waiting on that one. Auto scroll screen preset.
That one's been open for
a while. Let's see. I had a few things here. I didn't want to go too deep into here. Wrong and misleading variable names have been fixed. Please review. And then, the change that I requested, I think he already... So I do need to review this. Okay, so this gives the ability to automatically set the screen scroll behavior based on the content size. With this PR, there's an additional screen preset named Auto, which behaves as a fixed screen if the content fits the screen and changes itself to scrollable if it does not. Which is pretty cool.
That is.
So this screen preset, Auto. We have offset and point. There as props. Actually, let's see here. So
when does it make the change?
So yeah. Whoops.
Like if you have content that changes size.
Mm-hmm. There's scroll enabled, which is a React state. And update scroll state. When does that get? If scroll view height dot current is not null, update the scroll state. And then it basically checks to see if the content fitting the screen has changed. And if it has, then it updates the scroll enabled.
But it's always running this callback on content size change.
Yeah.
I think I would like this to be optional.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Well, it is. It is. This only happens if props.preset is
props.preset equals auto. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so it is. So by default, this does not run. That's
should we be checking that on line 69 there?
Line 69, if scroll view.
Should we be checking to see if it's if the props are
Yes.
auto?
We'll see. Okay, if scroll view does not equal. So, I mean, if the auto preset is not set, then that ref will never have a value.
Right.
And it will never run. So adding a check there for checking like the prop value wouldn't really functionally change anything because it would still be making the
it's in screen with scrolling, so we know that the props preset is auto. It's in if you expand upward.
Yeah.
We're in screen with scrolling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Although screen with scrolling can happen.
Right, but screen with scrolling isn't something that you call directly.
And it can happen either auto or if you just have it as
right.
scroll.
Sometimes I want to just force it to be a scroll view always.
So we have to check and see if it's preset to auto
before doing.
Before we, if scroll view height is update scroll state. I don't think we need to update the scroll state if it's not auto. So line 69, I feel like.
So
wouldn't we be
my
doing
argument
this?
is that if the auto preset is not set, then that scroll view height dot current
will never be
right. It will never not be null.
It'll always be null.
And so it like adding a guard there, checking the prop is
unnecessary,
pointless.
Yeah. Okay. I think you're right. So scroll view height.
Right. The default value is null, and we only change it
if it's auto. Wait, no.
On content size
change.
No, okay, so 59, that needs a guard. So there needs to be some guard that prevents on content size change from running unless the preset is.
Is scroll view height used elsewhere at all? This is only used for auto, right?
Yeah, it's not used elsewhere because that ref was added in this PR, so it's not.
Oh, okay, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
So I think there should probably be a guard on like 83 something, so that like I don't want to run anything on content size change if we haven't specified the auto preset.
True.
Because that like adds computational expense.
It does. It just runs.
So I don't even want to be running something that then checks the prop. I just want it because I just don't want it to run anything unless we.
So would it be best then to do something like props preset equals auto or undefined like this? So if it's
so we would want to make sure we pull in if you've specified a custom on content size change, that we're pulling that from props and running that.
Oh, we are.
Where?
Are we?
We're not.
Okay.
But are we? Let me pull this up in VS Code.
Yeah.
Are we actually running are we passing just like a rest?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Variable into
we are not
scroll view.
We're not.
We're not. So we're not actually currently letting users just like specify any of the. Maybe we should be doing that.
Maybe, but also they have access to this because it's just in their
boiler. They can just change it.
And they can change it however they want.
That's a good point. But then I think we would just need a guard that sets it to undefined.
If it's not auto.
Yeah, because I don't want it to run
against.
So that will ensure that the ref stays null.
Yeah. There we go. Is it undefined or null that we pass into on content size change? I think it's undefined.
Undefined. Yeah.
Okay. So
Or you could do a double.
let's.
You could do a double question mark?
You could. Yeah. I'm old
Yeah.
school and I forget to do that. I need to take a quick break. So we're gonna go on a little bit of a break here, if that's cool with everybody.
I may have to actually go take over
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
childcare.
Yep. I can carry things forward. Thanks so much, Robin, for joining.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to future React
Yeah.
Native Live sessions.
Yeah, you should definitely come on
Maybe
again.
maybe React Native Radio crossover.
I know, we should totally do that. That would be awesome. I think we can make something cool happen here. So,
Yep.
yeah, definitely appreciate it. I will be back, everybody, probably till noonish or something like that, and kind of finish up a few of these things, and then we'll call it good. So, thanks a lot. I'm going to go on a break. Thanks so much, Robin. And we'll see you in a bit.
All right. Bye.
And I'll leave this open here. Let's see if this works. I think this is working. Cool. All right. I will be back very shortly. Thanks, everybody. I am back. I am back. So, wow, okay, this isn't working. Screen share. Edit the transform. Do it live. Yeah, I don't know. Ever since I went one screen, it's been great, except for when I'm streaming. So, like, I don't know. I guess the question is like, how do I maximize my screen real estate? I do have more vertical space that I could open up. So I could go down. Does this let me just go? Nope, it stretches it. Okay, so LG 5K display properties. Oh, this is where it is. Okay, never mind. I figured it out. Okay, so if I go 0 there, it goes all the way to the bottom. You can see everything. That might be best. Yeah, okay. You know, it's not great because then like, usually I have a little space at the bottom to kind of play around with stuff, but okay. Back to work here. Let's it was really cool that Robin joined me this morning. She's really been doing great with I think when she first started Infinerad, there's no way she would have joined me on something like this. It just would not have happened. But we're good now. She's coming on. She's obviously been doing React Native Radio. She's been doing other things. She was on a live coding thing on Microsoft Reactor, which was really cool. She did a great job on that. So yeah, very proud of her. She's doing awesome. Back to this. So yeah, guard against running the content size change unnecessarily. So we're not going to actually do that if it's not a if it's not an auto scroll. So I think otherwise this is pretty close. Just one small change and I think we're good to go. So click approve on that, submit the review, and once Martin updates that, we're good to go. Back to the pull request. This is slow going a little bit. It's a little slow going, and that's okay though. It's open source, so you just do it at the speed that works for you. It's important with open source. My philosophy is if I'm doing open source, it's got to be at my speed, the way that I do things. Can't be on someone else's terms, you know. Like this stuff. I'm just gonna do this the way I like to do things. So yeah. Wow, 18 viewers all of a sudden. Welcome everybody. If there's new people, appreciate it. Let's see here. So let's go back to the pull requests. We reviewed this. Flexbox, he's in France, so he might be, I don't know if he's still around. Flexbox, if you're here, you do have this PR out there. Just tried the TS commit. So this is allowing you to essentially do like the tilde or the at or whatever. Yeah, tilde. And then that starts at your project root. And then when you're doing your imports, you don't have to do dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot slash. You can just say tilde slash navigators, etc. And here was another example that I messed around with. TS config strategy on a project works fine. Reduces errors. Next step, investigate the storybook issue. Should we... okay, that's funny. That's funny. Should revisit this before Jamon reads this message during the RN live show. Oh, David, you're hilarious. You are very funny. That is funny. It's pull request 1886 there, buddy. He may not be tuned in because he's in France and it's pretty late there. But I'm gonna actually. Just gonna comment that. Too late. That's funny. That's funny stuff. That's funny stuff. I should get some music going. So I can't do music unless I get Loopback installed, and I'd have to reboot my computer to do Loopback, which is the software Loopback. There is hardware Loopback, which I'm going to use now for some music. Toss that up there. I'll just put that in the corner there. That way you can see what's being played. All right. I think you can. Yeah, you can. Cool. Okay, so this one is pretty well ready to go once, well, it's not ready to go. We need to resolve a couple things. Once it's up and ready to go, then I'll merge that one. That'll be a fun one. I think that's a good one. And then adding the front matter support to templates. Kate, if you're still in the audience, I know you have stuff you're working on, so you may not be tuned in 100%, but destination directory at the top. And so we did rename navigators instead of navigation. Front matter in general, I'm putting it on hold until we see another situation where it will be directly useful. Keep it open. Don't want to use gray matter. If we can use a different front matter library, that would be good. I don't want Ignite associated with the author of that library. I don't like that dude is not a good guy. John Schlinkert or whatever. I don't talk negatively about other open source people very often. Like very, very rarely. Because, you know, it's a hard thing and everything like that. But he is just, I don't want to be associated with him. Let's just put it that way. Wiser Every Day says, first time seeing Robin. Have you listened to her on React Native Radio? Kate says, I'll get it updated. YAML, we could roll our own. And remove the gray matter dependency. Patches to the model template automatically import and add stores to the root store. Custom generator for API. Target any path. So this is pretty cool. We do need some stuff, some conflicts. No rush. Yeah, let's get conflicts updated on that. Okay, all the pull requests are done. Let's jump back to discussions for a second. Do I need to switch? There's lo-fi, chill. There's chill bass. Stations. Let's see here. Actually, there's a surprise me. There's a liked. All right, we'll just do the surprise me. All right. Release build issue has been answered. Yeah, I think discussions are fine. Let's go to issues. Let's go see what's going on in issues. I'm going to be here for a little bit, probably another half hour, and then we'll call it good. So this one is up. Cannot find module. React Native CLI. Okay, it was initializing a project via night, and then I built it. I have a problem. So please help. Help me fix it. One thing I wish people would do is format their code blocks properly. I'll show you how to do that. When you're in there, you can see like here's my package, right? Package, and then you can just do 3 tildes, and in this case I'll put JSON right after it so that it code syntax highlighting. Go to the bottom of the code block, wherever it is, and put another 3, and update the comment, and you'll see that now it's got code formatting and coloring, it's tabbed properly, all that stuff. It's really important to do that. Cannot find... Looks like this is an Android. It's a little loud. Let me turn this down a little. Maybe like 11, 12, somewhere in there. Turn it down to 11. Why is this so hard to move? Okay. There we go. Yeah, there's not a lot to go off of here. Drew says, Jamon, I'm a junior and I have a question for you. I graduated from boot camp, Epic React, similar Web3 boot camp, and just about every React tutorial I can find on YouTube. However, the last couple weeks I've been feeling like I hit a wall in my growth. I'm digging into TypeScript this week, so it's been fun, but wondering if you have any advice. Yeah, Drew, so your best bet is going to be to put yourself in situations where you feel uncomfortable, and stop learning to learn and start learning to get something done. So, example of this is, you know, you may want to do a side project, something kind of challenging, not like your simple, straightforward to-do app, right? The thing I'm building right now, it's like my side project has been pushing me in certain ways. So you have a user, you have many users, right? And I'm using Firestore on the back of it. Why is my camera glitching? I don't get the glitch. It's by the way, it's happening in Zoom too. It's really strange. So let's say that let me switch over to just the just chatting side. So let's say that, so I could go out there and be like, oh, I want to learn Firestore. So I start doing like Firestore tutorials and documentation and all that stuff. And there's some value there. But what really has value is I'm trying to make it so that there's users. So I had to learn Firebase authentication. Never done that before. Pretty straightforward, but still learned some things when I went through it, like the Google Auth and things like that. I had to set things up end to end. And then I felt like I leveled up. Like, okay, now I understand that, you know, how Firebase handles authentication through Google. Then next I had a thing where, okay, now each user can be in a family. So, and maybe multiple families. So I had to structure the data in a way that made sense for a user to be in multiple families. Like how do I figure that? Then I had to be like, okay, I really want, like, if I'm going to have personal private data in this app, which I will, I need to be able to protect it. So I needed to learn Firestore rules, like privacy rules or security rules. So I went through the process of learning that, and that took probably a couple of evenings of learning that. These are all driven by real world things I had to do. They weren't me going, I want to go learn Firestore security rules. I didn't want to learn Firestore security rules, but I had to. I needed to. So I learned it. I leveled up there. Now I know. Like, if you were to ask me, like, hey, how do you write a Firestore security rule for making sure that a user is in an admin group before you let them do something? I know how to do that, or at least close enough where we can figure it out. Then next I wanted to encrypt. So I have the chat feature in this app, and I wanted to encrypt chat messages so that it was not trivial to just go through the Firestore backend and just read people's messages. Like make it hard for that to happen. So I had to learn some encryption stuff, and I figured it out. Wasn't that big of a deal. Small copy and paste from Stack Overflow, some adjustments to how that worked. Store an encryption key somewhere relatively secure, and then be able to share that encryption key so that other people can decrypt the messages in a way that kind of works well. Then I needed to figure out push notifications, because every time someone sends a message, I want a push notification to go to someone. And I'm using Expo, and I'm using Firebase, and I'm using Expo pre-build. So I had to go through all of the documentation to figure that out. So I've grown a ton. Oh, and then, by the way, I was also trialing this new way of managing Firestore and MobX together to make Firestore objects be observable and update automatically whenever it, like, all of a sudden, something changes on the back end, it should change on the front end too. And now it works really well. It works super well. Like the way that I set that up, I did it 3 different ways. First way was fun, but didn't quite work. Second way, well, it worked, but it didn't work in a way that I liked. Second way worked really well, but wasn't extensible. And then the third way that I just did yesterday, I just went through and refactored the whole thing and just like spent a ton of time getting back to where I already was. But now it's extensible and it will work in many different ways. And I'll probably eventually turn this in. So I'll have a fourth refactor where I'll turn it into a library. And this was just something that came out of, instead of just out of my brain, it was out of something I needed in the real app, real world thing, And I also had to think about how I wanted to structure my data. So a user can belong to many different families, and a family can have many different users. It's many-to-many relationship. So how do you do that? How do you do a many-to-many relationship in Firestore? That's not actually that easy. And there are some things about the way that I've set up permissions, for example, where it makes it difficult. Because like if I want to see some other user that's in a family that I'm also in, how do I know that we're in a family together? How do we know that, and so I feel like it kind of has to be, well, I have some ideas on how to handle that, but it's something I was like chewing through in my brain, and I had to kind of like really come to a conclusion of something like, okay, this will work. Actually, as I was going to hockey yesterday, which we won 8-1. I had about 15 saves or something like that, somewhere in that range. We're getting pretty good. The team's getting pretty good. We actually did lose one game on Saturday against this same goalie at a different level. So I play on 2 teams. Played against the same goalie twice, and he had 63 saves and let in 0 goals, which was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I told him as we were leaving the ice, I'm like, dude, you need to go get that puck. Get the last puck that we used, because that's a game you want to, remember. I like to Let me show you some. I like to have pucks and then write with, you can see on the screen here. 2021, 2022 Rec Champs Poikas, which is my my team, versus the Pine Cones, our nemesis. 3-0 shutout. Paul, who is the goalie on the other team, who's kind of a jerk, is very happy that that I shut him out. But yeah, you like, this was this one of the pucks in the game, because you use a few, but and I grabbed it, and actually someone gave it to me. They were like, "Oh, here's the 3-0. Here's the puck. It's 3-0." I'm like, "Oh yeah." So then I had my wife write, because she has better handwriting than me, with this kind of like silver Sharpie on it. So I don't know why I went down that. I guess because as I was going to hockey, I was thinking about the data normalization. Like, where do I put the data? Where I don't want it like in two places, because I had it in two places. I had user data underneath each family, but I also had user data outside of family, because you kind of needed to share user data. I don't know. Like, I still haven't totally resolved that, but that's an example of how that kind of, like, how do you get better as a programmer? Well, you got to put yourself into positions where you have to get better in order to accomplish your job, and then do it a lot. So side projects are tough, because they take time away from your family and maybe your career in other ways. But if you have time, that's a way to do it. If you can't do a side project, then try to put yourself in those positions at work. If you have work that applies to this, be like, give me something challenging. I will, I'll get better. Struggle wanting to build my own app because I want to optimize for landing my first job. I mean, my son is in the same position. He's 17. He's wanting to learn how to, he wants to get a job eventually. Being 17 is tough, because not everybody wants to hire a 17-year-old. But he's a fantastic programmer already. Well, I don't know if I'll say fantastic, but he's got talent and he's got potential. And he's already pretty good. So over time, I think he's going to be amazing. And I told him, well, just go build your own app. Like, keep working your fast food job and build an app on the side. And so he's spending like an hour a day learning React Native. He's got Expo installed. I'm not helping him at all. Like, he's just doing it all himself. And it's been great for him. And he's building this app where you can track, discover, and learn about board games and card games and stuff. So it's pretty cool. You're doing the right thing in terms of you're very enthusiastic on Twitter, and you stay connected to people. You're doing a lot of the right stuff there, and so that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good thing. I kind of don't want to do any more open source today. That felt really good to get some of that stuff out of the way, and it was fun to do that with Robin, but I think I'm kind of just in a chatting mood. So if you all have any questions or want to chat about anything, let me know. What do you all think about Elon Musk buying Twitter? Just bring up a hot button. My opinion, there's definitely some people that have problems with Elon Musk, and I get that. I'm not totally convinced that he has the answers for this ongoing debate about free speech versus proliferating awful ideas. At the same time, I'm not sure that Twitter themselves have an answer for that either. So is it worth it to give it a shot? I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. He tends to be a mover and shaker. Things tend to happen. But also, social media is a whole different ballgame. And being the owner of a social media network is a job that I would never want to have. It sounds awful. Sounds like a terrible terrible job. So, yeah. That's, it'll affect us. I mean, I have invested thousands and thousands of hours into Twitter. Thousands. I don't know how many tweets I have, but it probably corresponds to 64, almost 65,000 tweets. I've probably spent 50,000 hours on it. What a crazy time we live in. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. So nobody else was willing to buy Twitter, apparently, and so yeah. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think we'll call it a little early today. I kind of ran out of steam a little bit. That happens. I got some other stuff I need to do anyway. So thanks everybody for hanging out with me today, and Robin for coming on. That was awesome. Really cool to have everybody. I'm going to get my streaming setup set up. I'm going to get my setup set up better in the future. I'm going to have Restream. I'm going to maybe, do some other stuff. So, you probably heard that. Probably have something coming up. I need to go check my calendar. But I'm going to go do that. You all have a wonderful week. It's fantastic you all came with me. Back in the saddle, doing some streaming again. It's always really fun. Thanks, Derek. Really appreciate that. Thanks a lot, Mateo. Good to see you. And we'll all see you, hopefully, I think on Friday. I'm hoping that I can stream on Friday. Actually, I do have... I need to check my schedule. I might actually have a guest. So, anyway,